Hello, everyone. I'm Lee Zach, president of Agnes Scott College, and I'm delighted to be welcoming you to this webinar today. I have to say, I am so excited about Agnes Scott and where we are today. We know we all faced a very difficult time during the pandemic, but I am so proud of the way that the college has responded. Agnes Scott has lived true to its mission to educate women to think deeply, live honorably, and engage the intellectual and social challenges of our times. I have to say, this is what our students have been doing along with our faculty and staff. And what we also have been doing is focusing on one of the iconic buildings on our campus, Main Hall. This is a building that means so much to so many at Agnes Scott. It reflects our past, our present, and our future. I have to say, I love the story of the past of Main Hall and the fact that it was the beacon in Decatur when it was first built. That people from the town came and sat on the lawn and watched as the lights were turned on because it was the most innovative building in Decatur. That really reflects Agnes Scott College being #1 for innovation right now for the 3rd year in a row. So it told our history and foretold of our future and continuing with respect to our innovation. Today, it also represents our present and our present as a residential college. And if there's one thing that we have learned from the pandemic, it's the value of a residential college. Clearly, the future is in the ability to be able to provide education remotely, but also to be able to provide education on our campus as well. Creating an environment, especially an environment for our students that come from such a diverse population, to be able to live and learn together is something that is very special and something that is going to take Agnes Scott and our students into the future. And Main Hall represents our future in so many ways. As you all know, our students go to the bell tower and ring the bell to announce their futures, their future job, their future school, what they're going to do for graduate school. They also write their name to indicate they were here, they were present, but they're moving on to the future. We're also delighted with respect to the plans for Main Hall to, in addition to residents, to include a center focused on our students' future. So we are focused with Main on our past, our present, our future, with this iconic building that means so much to so many at Agnes Scott. And also the community. It's not just Agnes Scott. You can see that tower from the center of Decatur. It means so much to the community broadly, as well as our campus community. I have to thank our many donors who already have helped us with respect to Main Hall. We have over 325 donors that have contributed to Main Hall that have allowed us to preserve the envelope of Main, and we thank you. We also have donors who have helped us to begin to raise the funds for the interior of Main Hall. We have alums who've contributed to name rooms, to name spaces, individually, as groups. We have partners and spouses who've done it in their honor. We've had children who've honored their mothers by naming spaces. And we thank you for what you've done. As a result of your generosity, we have raised over $16 million to our goal of $31.8 million. And what we want to do today is we want to tell you about where we are with respect to Main. We want to give you a view with respect to what has taken place so far with respect to the construction of the building and what it is that we need to do to be able to complete the building. As I mentioned, we are so grateful for the generosity of all of our donors. We're also grateful to all of you who are listening right now. We need you. We need you to bring Main back to its former glory. We need you to bring back Main to something that is a beacon and something that shines for the future, not only for our students, which it truly does, but for the entire community, because it is a representation of Agnes Scott and a representation of the innovation and ingenuity in our community and the future for our community. So we are going today to have an opportunity to listen to those who've been involved with respect to the construction so far, so you have an update, and also for the planning for what we're going to do for the future. So with that, it's my pleasure to hand it over to our Vice President for Business and Finance, Dr. Ken England, who will tell you about the status of our construction with respect to Maine. Thank you so much for listening, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.
Thank you so much, President Zach. And again, thank you to all of our donors and friends who are watching this webinar. As President Zach mentioned, Main Hall is far more than just a building. Main Hall serves as a symbol of our strength and a symbol of our innovation. It, as it always has, serves a strategic role in the future of Agnes Scott. It plays into our sustainable business model, our strategic plan, and our master plan. We completed and the Board of Trustees approved a campus master plan at the end of 2019. And I want to take you, before we dive into Main Hall, I want to take you as a refresher with what we discovered in our campus master plan that was finalized in 2019. There were a few key concepts that we relied upon in developing this plan. It was to create spaces for interdisciplinary learning, research, and outreach. It was to support a holistic experience of mind, body, and spirit, promote connectivity, safety, and accessibility, to celebrate the landscape of social and environmental infrastructure, balance historic identity with contemporary needs, reflect a modernized residential college environment, and foster collaboration with the local community, City of Decatur, and global partners. Through these core principles, there were 6 big ideas that came out of our master plan. You can see here is a rendering of what it would look like completed. But the first main idea was to stitch together the campus with the STEAM corridor, which you can see between our current Bullock Building and Woodruff, to recenter the campus community and bring life to the southern end of campus. Number 2 was to invest in our academic core by renovating and building new facilities to foster, again, teaching and learning and research on our campus. Big idea number 3 was to create residential clusters. It was to, again, bring students back to the heart of campus, which we know that on-campus residency can contribute to higher retention rates, higher student satisfaction, and more close contact with our students, with our faculty and staff. Number 4 was to enhance the network of student life spaces, to invigorate the campus, both indoors and outdoors, but primarily outdoor areas where students can socialize, where they can enjoy the beautiful downtown Decatur and enjoy our beautiful campus. Number 5 was to create vibrant open spaces and greater connectivity. So connectivity within our own campus and connectivity with the City of Decatur, to allow us to be a welcome station, as you will, as you head north across the tracks into downtown Decatur, and as you head south from downtown Decatur through our beautiful campus. And finally, big idea number 6 was to create partnerships, to look to our properties, to redevelop those, and to incorporate and work with the City of Decatur as they develop their overall master plan. With that said, this would be and is a beautiful vision for Agnes Scott's future. Our campus would be new, it would be innovative, it would provide students with amazing amenities for many years into the future. But there is one thing that must occur, or as I would say, one domino that must fall first, and that is the restoration of Main Hall. And I do want us to remember and to be refreshed while we are all here. And with that, we're going to play a video to remind you where we have been, where we are, and where we hope we will be with Main Hall. That is certainly always an exciting video to watch. It gives me goosebumps and gets me excited about the opportunities. We have today some very special guests who I hope can give us some insight into the renovation of Main Hall. We have Jenkins Peer, our architects. We have Patrick Page and Ben Benson. We have our project manager and support from Carter and Associates, Tommy Webb, and our wonderful construction partners in Holder Construction with Allie Thacker and Doug Hunter. I want to begin by asking each of them three sort of open-ended questions to give you some insight into what they've seen, what they're surprised about, and really get inside their mind and inside the mind of an architect, a project manager, and a construction manager. I think you'll find their answers very interesting. The three questions I will pose to each group will be: given the long-standing relationship between your firm and Agnes Scott College, share your enthusiasm for working on the restoration of this iconic historic building. Question number two: what surprise or unique discovery have you encountered during the renovation that informs the remaining work to complete this project? And third, once the restoration of Main Hall is complete, how will you describe what the revitalization living, learning, and working space will mean for the generations of Scotties to come? I will start with Jenkins Peer, and I will ask Patrick Page to reflect and answer those three questions.
Sure, thank you, Ken. After the work and success of restoring Rebecca Hall, Jenkins Peer was very honored to be asked to help revitalize the most iconic building on campus and helping ensure its legacy for decades to come. It's a really beautiful high Victorian Gothic design with historic elements and detailing that are rarely found on college campuses. The opportunities to be involved in such a special building really don't come along that often. One space I know we're all very excited to see come to fruition is the new bell tower experience. This is a great tradition that has evolved over time, and it evolved in what was functionally kind of a leftover utility area in the building. So we're really excited to use Maine's own beauty to create this new ceremonial space that I know will leave a lasting impression on everyone that gets to participate in that ceremony. If Main Hall is the centerpiece of campus, the bell tower is really the centerpiece of Maine, and Scotties will be able to leave their lasting connection and literal mark behind as they get to participate in that ceremony. One thing I know has been kind of, as the external work has gone on, one thing I'm often reminded of is that Main Hall is 130 years old. Much of the work we are doing is touching and restoring work that hasn't been touched and restored in 130 years. You can imagine in 1891, they made decisions that have served the college for a very long time. We found a signature on the roof framing that our preservationist was able to track down to a plumber that had worked on the building. And it's really incredible to think someone, being that proud of the work they were doing, that they wanted to kind of leave their own personal mark behind. And I'm very proud of the decisions we're making today that will make sure Main Hall is around for another 130 years, that everyone can take pride in. I'm also very excited about some of the, as part of this restoration, providing some new living, learning, and working spaces for the generations of Scotties that will get to enjoy Main Hall. We're creating a lot of new communal gathering and study spaces that are high demand today and help students learn collaboration skills and build community amongst the students. I'm very happy to say that we're creating all these spaces without losing beds too, by reclaiming underutilized square footage. And finally, I think it's very exciting that what is usually a challenge in historic buildings, this renovation will make the full building accessible seamlessly to all students of all capabilities and orientations. So all Scotties will get to take part in this historic legacy.
Thank you, Patrick. I think you reflecting on the work that has been done and how long it has served the campus and the work that we are doing today, and to know that it will last for future generations. Thank you for those comments. Next, I will go to Tommy Webb with Carter and Associates. Tommy, same set of questions from your perspective, please.
Great, thank you, Ken. As Ken mentioned, I am with Carter and Associates, and I am the program manager for this project and have had the pleasure of working on several recent renovation projects on Agnes Scott's campus over the last several years. Really excited and fortunate to be working on this project with the team from Holder and Jenkins Peer and the leadership from the college. Main Hall is such an iconic structure, not only on Agnes Scott's campus, but also for the surrounding Decatur community. The history is really clear of that. We're excited to partner together to ensure that Main continues to play a unique role in the residential and campus experience for the next generation of students. It will create an environment that continues to foster relationships and the important culture that makes Agnes Scott innovative and unique. The unexpected finding that comes to mind was the discovery that almost all of the cornice and trim materials, the white bands you see around the building, were constructed of tin rather than wood. Many aspects of Maine have been completely inaccessible for decades. So there are assumptions that our team had to make when we were designing, planning the work ahead of time. And we had to make a bit of a pivot, and it really presented an opportunity to stick with the original intent, which was metal trim, and utilize a material that is way more long-term and maintenance-free, and using Kynar coated aluminum. So we expected to do one thing, experienced another, and it really presented an opportunity to make the project better. Once Main Hall is fully restored, the historic elements will be preserved and highlighted so that the important campus traditions can carry on. Traditions like ringing the bell at the end of your tenure at Agnes Scott as you move forward to what is next. And traditions like signing the inside of the bell tower. Those spaces have been highlighted and improved so that the experience is great. The latest and greatest building materials, equipment, technologies are all being incorporated into this space. So not only the history and the tradition, but also best in class performing building. It was mentioned before that this is going to be a LEED certified building. And what that really means is that the building's going to perform unbelievably well and efficiently for the college, which is great for long-term viability, but it's also going to be a place that focuses on human comfort and wellness and makes it a special space for the students that live there. As Patrick mentioned it as well, but spaces for social gathering and academic collaboration have been incorporated into this design that we'll be doing in phase 3 that will really promote connectivity and learning. So again, I'm grateful for the opportunity to work with each and every one of you on this special project for Maine's campus.
Thank you, Tommy. And again, thank you for additional thoughtful insights into the building and some of the surprises that you don't realize till you get on the scaffolding what you're going to find. And I think all of you have found some really exciting things during the course of this phase 2 renovation. Now, last but certainly not least, I'd like to introduce Allie Thacker with Holder Construction. Allie, same 3 questions from your perspective. You've spent a lot of time, as the others have, in the trailer outside of Main Hall. I'd love to get your perspective and take on Main.
Yes, absolutely. I'm actually sitting right outside the building right now in the trailer looking at the building. So I have a unique everyday view of the building, which I love. Holder's been working on Agnes Scott's campus since 2013. And actually, I have had the unique experience to be working on all of Holder's projects. So starting with Campbell, moving on to Rebecca, and then now, of course, Maine in 2013, starting in 2013 all the way till now. And even more kind of a special experience. I grew up in Decatur. I'm one of the few locals around here, and I went to Decatur High School, so I could throw a rock and hit my high school from here. And my grandma was a Scottie, so she was the class of 1948, and I just love that, you know, I think about her every day when I'm here. Think about that, you know, these were buildings she got to live and enjoy. These were their main buildings. And everyone keeps mentioning the bell tower. It really was iconic. Growing up in Decatur, everyone said, you know, the building right in the middle with the bell tower, that's absolutely what it is. And that's what I tell people now when I'm working on, what project are you working on? Main hall, the one with the bell tower. So just super exciting to be back and be able to do this with the college. The college at this point has become my family. Unique discoveries. So when I think about the buildings, I start to relate them, right? So we move from one project to the next and I start to think, what's going to be the same. So Rebecca and Maine are certainly sisters. They're even connected together, right? So I expected to see some of the same things. And as we were doing demolition and abatement on the upper floors, which was a little unique. So in Rebecca, we left more of the plaster walls. We didn't get to expose as much, but as we would take things apart, we would find interesting modifications at Rebecca that had been done over the years. And as we took apart the walls at Maine, we didn't find the same amount of modifications. In fact, when we would cut some of the timber, it was very well preserved in the inner part of the building, so much so that some of that heart pine, you could still smell the sap when we were cutting it. And I was just so surprised and kind of excited. Like Rebecca had a little more work done over the years, but her older sister Maine hadn't, and it was pretty neat. And then how I would describe this when it's complete, much like its sister at Rebecca, you know, we're trying to preserve the original incredible building, but you know, it is 2021 and that means technology. It's important for the students. And so when I talk to students on campus and they ask what's going on, you know, we tell them we're maintaining the aesthetic. We're just going to make it work for everyday life so that it really works with all the modern amenities. And you know, when people think about, when I have spoken to other alumni that have lived here, they always note, you know, there was no air conditioning on the upper floors. And when we say, don't worry, there will be air conditioning, everyone gets so excited. So those are some of my favorite things.
Allie, thank you so much. And, you know, as you speak, I can smell the pine, right? I mean, it is really amazing what y'all have discovered through this process. And it's exciting about what the future holds for this building. So Allie, Tommy, Patrick, Doug, and Ben, I want to thank each of you for the work you have done thus far. You have committed your time, your energy, your passion into restoring this iconic building for the future generations. And from the bottom of my heart, I thank you. I am now honored to turn the program over to our Vice President for Advancement, who is leading this charge fearlessly, Dr. Rabian Charles. Dr. Charles, good to see you, and the floor is yours.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr. England. It's always great to see you. And I want to start by picking up on a word that you said, the passion. This is truly a passion project for the campus, as I know you heard evidence by what was said by everyone before me today. It's so important. And I want to continue by reiterating what you've heard, which is to say thank you. We are so thankful to you, the more than 325 plus donors who have made possible the work that has happened already with the restoration of the campaign for Maine. It is evidence of the power of philanthropy. And when we talk about philanthropy, we talk about the love, generally, the love of humanity. That's the definition of philanthropy. Well, for us right now with this campaign to restore Maine Hall, it's about the love of Agnes Scott and the love of our students. So again, thank you. As President Zach shared, we have raised more than $16 million, thanks to you, toward this very important project. And that puts us at being more than halfway toward the goal of completing the restoration, which is quite an achievement. But our work is not done, I have to say that, and we must raise the remaining $15 million to complete the project, and we will do that. with the support of people and corporations and foundations like yourself. And the time is now for us to do that because this project is more important than ever. But the one thing that I do want to point out about the importance of this project is that it will make a difference in the lives of our students and the future of Agnes Scott. So my ask to you as donors, as investors, individuals who've already contributed to this project is to tell your fellow classmates if you're an alum of the college, or to tell friends and family members about this project. Your words about the reason that you invested in the restoration of campaign are more powerful than our words. And so we really do need for you to help spread the word about the restoration of the campaign for Maine. Lastly, we want you to see up close and personal the impact of your dollars and your investment in action. And so we invite you to attend in-person tours where you will be able to see what is happening as a part of the restoration. So please take us up on that and participate in a behind-the-scenes tour. So again, thank you so much for your support. Your philanthropy is powerful, and words are not enough to express our appreciation. It is now my pleasure to turn it back over to our president for some closing remarks.
Thank you very much, Dr. Charles, and I want to thank Dr. Ken England as well, and our phenomenal project team, Tommy, Patrick, Ben, and Allie. Thank you for what you're doing for Maine Hall. Thank you for the passion and the love with which you do it. We greatly appreciate, and we love having you on our campus. I also want to thank all of you for being part of today. You have seen how the restoration of Maine Hall fits with our master plan, as well as with our strategic plan. And for those of you who would like to know more about our strategic plan, please feel free to view our website and learn more about the strategic plan. But this iconic building is such a part of all of our future at Agnes Scott. And so I thank you for all of you who've participated so far, and those of you who are going to help us to reach the $31.8 million. I want to also thank you. By doing this, you're not only part of the restoration of this building, but you are part of the mission of Agnes Scott. And as we have learned, that mission is more vital today than it has ever been before. Thank you for being with us today. Thank you for investing in us. Thank you for loving Maine. And thank you for being part of the Agnes Scott family and community.